Greetings, beloved human family. Namaste. This is Gilles Mancillon. I send my love and blessings to you. I thank you for coming to view this video. I just felt that I needed to make a little compliment on this video I started yesterday on quantum DNA. DNA is this magnificent thing. It is who we are, and it is mysterious. We only have one DNA, which is if you can take the time to visualize it at the center of your vision center, third eye. You can work with it. You can bring light to it. You can discover many things. In truth, there's one DNA, but we have 50,000 billion cells within our physical body, and this DNA is highly intelligent. It knows how to recreate either blood cell or hair or nail, and this is only the same DNA, but it's sending messages to the cell so that it can reproduce and keep recreating this magnificent construction that is so sophisticated, that is the physical vehicle of the human body. And so essentially this DNA is a polymer. It is a very complex molecule, very, very powerful, and most of what the codes that are within it are dormant. They need to be awakened. The best way to awaken them is to invoke the power of love, to say, I am love, I love myself, I love who I am, I love where I am, I love all that I am. And you repeat that to yourself, and the more you believe that, the more you start to embrace new potential, new energies, and so you develop inner technologies, because and by being able to match the vibration of those things that you are encountering and seeking to embrace. Yesterday I saw a movie that was talking about this, which was, so I talk about it. It's a movie of Luc Besson, French director, with Morgan Freeman and Scarlett Johansson. It's called Lucy. Of course, it's an atheist fantasy, but it speaks of the awakening of DNA and the utilization of the 100% of our brain potential. So it is set within the Hollywood violence scene, as most movies are, but in essence, it is this girl that's been exposed to some very intense drug and goes through a metamorphosis that awaken those part of our brain, and give her psychic powers. So in truth, and from what I know, this is only linear. Of course, it is an atheist fantasy, like I said, but the truth of the psychic power that we may come to discover is far even better than that, because it is multidimensional, and no drugs can ever reveal the truth of the spiritual beauty that will unfold if we are aware and awakening to our spirituality. Of course, everyone that is looking for, that is using psychedelic drug, is seeking for a spiritual experience. It is this unconscious desire to reconnect to the spiritual truth. And of course, certain natural drug can give you a glimpse into other dimension. But as soon as the drug wears off, there is a depletion. But when we have to learn to develop those chemicals naturally, so we can sustain that energy of all the chemical drugs the chemical that we can process within our body that give us access to higher planes. There is this chemical named dimethyltryptamine, known as DMT, certain substance on the earth like ayahuasca, peyote, or some smaller quantity, what they call magic mushrooms, have contained them, but it is also the substance that is naturally created within that gives light and color to our dreams. It is created by our pineal gland, and so it is something that we will come to discover, to connect to our inner pharmacy, so that we may release, because most of our society is based on filling up with adrenaline, which is stress, and so we want to get adrenaline as this purpose within the function within the human body. It is an awakening, but we want to essentially be able to secrete naturally substance like DMT, like oxytocin, like endorphin, like serotonin, and more melatonin within our blood. All those things to bring the harmony and balance. Of course, those things have to be balanced out. So yeah, basically what I wanted to to say is that in truth this movie was really interesting, but it does not even begin to portray the true potential of what the human body can experience, and everybody can experience it. It's not just some people. For a very long time, those powers were highly accessible to most of the population. Until the fall of Atlantis, and then provision has been made so the power when people have abused those powers. So now it's only those who have a kind heart and seek wisdom, who are gentle, will be able to access those powers. So you have to work within your love potential in order to awaken those inner power. Personally, I know that within 30 days I'm going to complete my cleansing, and I'm going to stand at the bottom of a very, very high ladder of ascension. So I will see how I will be able to reawaken my own power, and then, of course, time will tell. The idea also is to bring balance within our physical body, and to balance out both of our brain potential. There is intuitive and logical brain power. And so once those are working in full capacity with our intuition and our logic, our emotion and mind and emotion are working in perfect balance and harmony, it activates the cerebellum, the third little brain, and that gives us access to all kinds of power. Of course, the first power that will manifest will be likely to be different for everybody, but will be empathy and telepathy, being able to feel, to sense what other people are thinking and feeling, and to be able to communicate thought. But later on, we'll be able to develop much higher levels, such as levitation, telekinesis, shape-shifting, bilocalization, teleportation, and all kinds of other powers. Many people will awaken to those powers in the coming years and decades. And so it is very important to also to allow this harmonization and to open the well of dream, which is the fourth eye at the bottom of the neck. For many years I used to love coffee, but I know it closed down that center, so I gave it up and I replaced it with tea. And so essentially by awakening our DNA, we awaken our brain, we awaken a higher function, and understanding that external technologies will never compare to what we can develop as inner technology. For that, this is where we're going to find our true joy, our true happiness in the future. It won't be in so much in material success, but it will be in internal success. In spiritual evolution, because that will fulfill us on a much higher level. Of course, I'm not saying to give up technology, other technology, but not to let them take over our lives, so that our soul, to allow our soul to unfold our own its own program, so that we can develop those inner power, inner center, and open those many activation within ourselves, which is already ready and in lines. It's just a matter of aligning ourselves to it, and just slowing down our mind process, breathing, emptying our thoughts, connecting to the love that is, and listening to whatever the spirit is prompting us to do, and following that, we find ourselves to be in the right way, in the right place, in the right time, in fulfilling our destiny, and so on. Well, I hope this message was interesting for you. I wish you a wonderful day. And I'm going to share this painting here. This one is called 0 Point. It's a painting I've already talked about in one past video. But this is part of a series of paintings that I'm called to share a video at the end, share a painting at the end of the videos. So this one is called Modern Art. It is a series of painting I did. It's called part of the museum series. I did not have enough space here to paint large paintings, so I started painting large paintings within smaller ones. And this one is there's this kind of a scene behind the walls, and there is this I Ching painting on top of it that is kind of a modern touch to it that is coming about. And so those there is I must have done about 100 of those paintings. They're really I will showcase them later. I hope you find it interesting. I wish you a wonderful day, and I'll talk to you later. Namaste. Thank you.